This is News OSU for Thursday, October 27th. We are glad you are with us. I'm Alyssa Sanchez. We begin with the passing of a former OSU president. Jim Halligan's death was announced yesterday by the university. Halligan, a former state senator, was president of OSU from 1994 to 2003. In the statement, current OSU President Casey Strum said that Halligan, quote, faced and overcame many challenges as president of our beloved university. Halligan was the 16th president of OSU and led the university's response to the Remember the 10 plane crash. In other news, the ability to get food late at night on campus has become more challenging for some. Here's News OSU's Colin Miller.
Student dining is one of the most important features for any university on their campus. OSU has many options for food, including 2 grocery stores, 20-something and Adams Market. Adams Market has always closed at 11 p.m., but 20-something stayed open till 1 a.m. until this year. While it may not seem that this would have a huge impact on students, the life of a college kid can be very busy, and not being able to have options past 11 p.m. could be a problem for some. I spoke to freshman Jake Berry about the hours changing, and he said he wishes 20-something still closed at 1.
So sometimes I don't get back into the Colvin till maybe 9:30, and then from there I have to always cut some sort of my workout short because I have to get to 20-something because I haven't eaten all day.
There's no doubt that many students would prefer the store to close later, but what do the employees think of the hour changes? 20-something declined to let their employees comment, but we can only assume that employees at 20-something prefer the new hours. But whose concerns outweigh the others? Students who depend on their meal plan to survive are rightfully concerned that the new hours could affect their ability to feed themselves, or at the very least, force them to reconstruct their day. For News OSU, I'm Colin Miller.
A legal challenge to President Biden's student loan forgiveness program has millions of people wondering, what now? The White House has previously identified this week as the soonest some borrowers could see their debt canceled. Here's Jen Sullivan with what borrowers and those who qualify for relief should know.
Debt relief in legal limbo. A federal appeals court put President Joe Biden's student loan forgiveness program on pause for now.
I'm still waiting for that relief, right? No one's had their debt canceled yet.
Friday's move barred the administration from canceling loans, while the court considers a legal challenge from 6 Republican-led states. So, what does it mean for the more than 20 million people who've applied for relief so far? The Biden administration appears confident the program will prevail.
We're not deterred. We'll keep fighting for you and pushing through.
The administration had said Sunday was the earliest day it would start discharging loans. So people will now have to wait a little longer while the program's fate is decided.
I'm one of the people that we're fighting for.
Cody Hunanian is the executive director of the Student Debt Crisis Center, a nonprofit focused on ending the student debt crisis, who is also waiting for some of his debt to be forgiven.
It's not going to erase my entire debt, but it's a third of my student loan debt, and it, one, opens up the door, hopefully, for the ability to purchase a home, invest in myself in a different way.
The program would dismiss up to $10,000 in debt for eligible applicants, up to $20,000 if they received Pell Grants. So, what should you do if you qualify? The White House is still encouraging people to apply at studentaid.gov. And the Better Business Bureau continues to remind you to beware of ongoing scams.
Scammers have been right there to take advantage. They know that there's a bit of confusion about what's going to happen next.
For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
College can be overwhelming financially while students are still in school. Pete's Pantry serves as a food resource that comes at no extra cost for students and faculty here at Oklahoma State. Gabrielle Tiger shows you a valuable resource here on campus so you don't have to choose between dinner and your rent.
According to the College Board, the average debt level of four-year college graduates who took out loans was $28,400, which doesn't make it too surprising to hear that one of the leading causes of student dropout is finances. No matter what's causing financial hardship, a common byproduct of financial trouble is food insecurity. To help students combat food insecurity on campus, OSU provides Pete's Pantry. Pete's Pantry is a resource that provides food to students and faculty members. It's located in the basement of the Student Union, and the pantry is open every Tuesday and Wednesday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m.
Students, faculty, staff can get one item per section, so we have protein, soups, household items, vegetables, beans, pasta and rice options, fruits, beverages, bread, crackers, chips, cereal, and then this is more of where we keep our inventory. Then in the middle, we usually have fresh produce like onions, apples, bananas, oranges, potatoes, and you can get 2 items per basket. A lot of students face food insecurity. Even faculty, staff sometimes face food insecurity on campus. It doesn't just mean, oh, I don't have any food or anything like that. It's when you start having to have those thoughts of, do I eat a full meal and I'm full, or do I pay this bill? Or when you start having to like negotiate your food with other, variables, that's when food insecurity starts to come into play.
The pantry is run and operated by the Student Government Association. If you're interested in making a monetary donation to the Pete's Pantry Network, please feel free to give via Venmo at OK State SGA. You may also drop off any physical donations to the pantry location. For News OSU, I'm Gabrielle Tiger.
Here's a look at some upcoming events on campus. On Friday at 6 p.m., the Department of Wellness is sponsoring a drive-in movie at the Western Fields. Before the movie, there will be a trunk-or-treating, a costume contest, and yard games. The movie will be Coraline. Admission is free, and everyone is invited to attend. The OSU College of Veterinary Medicine will hold an open house on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in McElroy Hall. This is a great chance for those interested in veterinary careers to learn about what the college has to offer. Monday is Halloween, and you can attend a free screening of Rocky Horror Picture Show at the Student Union Theater starting at 8:30 p.m. Last week was one of the busiest weeks on campus as OSU hosted America's Greatest Homecoming. Our Colin Miller was there as Greek organizations prepared for walk-around.
America's Greatest Homecoming kicked off this week in Stillwater, but sororities and fraternities alike have been working and planning for months for this week. The theme for this year's homecoming is Heroes. For months, members of Greek life homecoming committees have been coming up with themes and ideas for what type of heroes represents Oklahoma State the best. From athletes to scientists, heroes can come in any form. Hank Traxel of Phi Delta Theta told me that the theme for their float was international heroes that are related to Oklahoma State.
So with the main theme of Hats Off to Cowboy Heroes, we really wanted to highlight the international heroes of Oklahoma State University. And so with our panels, we highlight OSU athletics, how international they are with various people like Victor Hovland with the current golf men's and women's team. Or we wanted to highlight the faculty with our professors, and that's who he is up there, Professor Mohammed Babasi. He's a professor at the architecture department here at Oklahoma State. But we felt like that internationally, Oklahoma State doesn't really highlight those categories too much. And so that's what we chose to do with our deck.
It's awesome to see people recognize the international community of Oklahoma State students that don't get much recognition otherwise. Many people don't realize how much work actually goes into creating the float. Braden Edwards, head homecoming director for Sigma Phi Epsilon, told me they've been working on it since March.
Starting from us at the summer in March, we planned this. We paired with our sorority Zeta, and then from March to April, we were coming up with our theme. From April to August, we were planning this entire deck and designing all the moving parts and everything featured. And so it's really, really exciting to get to see it come together.
All floats will be judged and ranked this weekend based on their creativeness, originality, and craftsmanship. Oklahoma State will host Texas on Saturday, October 22nd, in the 101st Annual Oklahoma State Homecoming Game. For News OSU, I'm Colin Miller.
Fall-like temperatures will continue for this weekend. Here's a look at the News OSU's forecast. There will be a slight chance of rain on Friday. Otherwise, it will be dry over the weekend. Highs will be in the 60s, lows will be in the 40s. One of the biggest things people take for granted when they move away to college is their barber or stylist. Suddenly, a few months go by and students realize they desperately need a haircut. There is an option on campus that you might not know about. Here's News OSU's Gabrielle Tiger.
Hairstyles have a significant impact on our confidence and how we present ourselves to the world. It plays a big role in first impressions and self-expression. Carla Peden enjoys helping faculty and students boost self-esteem by offering accessible haircuts from the Student Union. In room 038, Peden provides haircuts, clipper cuts, beard trims, perms, and waxing.
I bought it in 1984. I worked in the Student Union 1978 for my brother and sister-in-law, and bought it from them in 1984. So I've been in business since 1984.
Peden sees a variety of clients from campus. Her services are unable to be bursard, but she accepts cash, card, and check.
It's college students and faculty and staff. Mostly guys. I do women's hair, but it's mostly ROTC guys and stuff like that. So,
while Peden loves helping people look their best, she claims one of the most rewarding parts of her work is the camaraderie. Some of her favorite interactions include meeting international students and making them feel comfortable about receiving a haircut in a new place. No matter where you're from, Peden states that she loves building connections and finding out what people love about Oklahoma State. Silver Clippers is open Monday through Friday from 9:30 a.m. till 6 p.m. Appointments are encouraged, but walk-ins are always accepted. So whether you have an important interview or want to clean up your look for a date, Carla Peden is here for you. For News OSU, I'm Gabrielle Tiger.
Oklahoma State had a big win this past weekend against Texas, celebrating for the Cowboys' homecoming. OK State rallied in the second half, overcoming a 10-point deficit. Spencer Sanders threw for 391 yards this weekend. Sanders threw to Bryson Green for a touchdown with just 3 minutes left in the game, sending the Cowboys ahead for the win. The Cowboys defeated the Longhorns 41-34, advancing Oklahoma State to a 3-1 record in conference. Next up for the Cowboys will be Kansas State. K-State lost this past weekend to TCU 38-28, making their conference record now 3-1. The Jayhawks lost to Baylor 35-23 last weekend. Texas Tech beat West Virginia 48-10. The Sooners and Iowa State both had a bye week. There are currently 3 Big 12 teams ranked. Texas Christian University at number 7, Oklahoma State went up to number 9, and Kansas State is at number 22 after their loss to TCU. There have been 20 consecutive rankings where Oklahoma State has been in the top 15. This week's matchup will be TCU at West Virginia at 11, Oklahoma at Iowa State at 11, Oklahoma State at Kansas State at 2:30 for the only Big 12 game this weekend where both teams are ranked. And finally, Baylor vs. Texas Tech at 6:30. This weekend's game for the Cowboys will be interesting as they face off against the Wildcats. While Kansas State has a losing record of 26-42 against OK State since 1908, this season may look a little different with how Kansas State has been playing. Martinez has 907 passing and 565 rushing yards, but may be out due to suspected possible knee injury. Nonetheless, K-State has shown up and showed out, shocking many, with a 5-2 overall record. This weekend's matchup will definitely be one to keep an eye out for. After this weekend, the Cowboys will take on Kansas November 5th, Iowa State November 12th, and a big Bedlam weekend November 19th, and ending it all off with West Virginia November 26th. And that's our time for News OSU. I'm Alyssa Sanchez. From all of us at News OSU, stay safe and we'll see you next time.